Sometimes I am complacent, so sometimes you do give me a kick which is needed, but that's not always the case.
I don't think it's a good idea to encourage Allison to give you that kick. I think it burdens her. It perpetuates this dynamic, and you're kind of unconsciously robbing yourself of getting in touch with your own thing.
Okay.
Here's another really good example, right? Lorena has been working on planning things. I'm like, Lorena, how do we really get to a place where I can trust that we can have a future where something's planned out in the future? And in that fight, in that frustration, Lorena goes, no. I planned something. I planned something for the end of this month. It's for Company XIV. We're gonna go see this show. She's done this with another partner, but we're gonna have our own experience. It's gonna be great. And I was like, oh shit, Lorena, okay. Fuck yes. Fast forward to the end of the month, and we're out to dinner. And during the dinner, I'm like, aren't we supposed to be at something that you planned? And Lorena, the thing that was symbolically supposed to be the example of repair, she ended up never following through on.
So, okay.
Yeah.
To say something from your end?
Yeah, I was gonna buy the tickets, did not buy the tickets in time because I had a coupon that ended up expiring, and I got nervous about the amount of money it was going to cost to go to the show because I am on a different budget right now. And then it just like became a huge thing because I didn't just deal with it head on because I was nervous and embarrassed.
Lorena, I don't care about Company XIV.
I
care about
I know,
planning
but
things
I
with you.
care
and
about the planning things with you too.
We could have fucking bought a cupcake at some random place and like literally sat in the park. But the thing that I crave is just to be able to like.
But you're now talking about your own cravings. I think it would be good for you to also listen to what's happening on the other side so you'll understand more.
Yeah.
I think in particular it felt very charged just because we had such a huge rupture around the planning ahead. And I had been like literally trying to do that, and it just felt like it was all just falling apart.
I can totally imagine that situation.
Yeah. I can definitely imagine that situation.
So I want to make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Why don't you hold some of your feelings and make space to actually listen? I understand the frustration you're sitting with, but I think part of what's going on is you're not letting new information in. Hold your feelings.
So, okay. Like, I think that's like fair, right? And also, these are really important moments.
But is it more important for you to express what's upsetting you or to understand what's going on?
I mean, it's important to understand what's going on.
So then...
For sure.
Then hold your horses.
I just feel like I've tried that. I've tried that, and I've tried...
It's a never-ending hold your horses. It's not a tried, and that's how one listens.
The more I know how you feel, the more my mom has less power over my decision. It's our decisions.
Let's not use the word decision and just talk about wants.
Okay. Wants.
Like, I want her, right? Body and all.
Oh, I was like, what?
Right. But we just don't have any sex. So even bringing up having a baby is like...
How's that even going to happen?
Right. Even these days, just running my hand down her body, she would like flick it away every day. months, years.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't know what happened, but I just couldn't. It's gotten to a point where physically, like, actually, like, is very unpleasant. And it hurts. So I've felt so much fear around it now,
Yeah.
and I feel terrible, but I don't know how to fix that part yet.
Even without sex for years, I've still remained with Joey.
Yeah.
So that was like a big, not sacrifice that I made.
But
and
why
I'm still not,
wouldn't Joey want a sexual life herself?
right.
This is not just for you. I mean, both of you are sacrificing something. Why? Unless your mother is benefiting from this sacrifice somehow.
I don't think so. I guess not having a child in the way that she's getting what she wanted.
Ah, the child is sacrificed.
Yeah. I guess if I know I'm not having any of it, then I'm definitively not going to get pregnant in any way whatsoever.
I see. Really, the child is sacrificed for your mom. That's biblical. I guess, Alexis, you've held financial power, and that has created a certain kind of difficult dynamic that is hard to address between the two of you. And it sounds like you're saying, Kazimar, that you feel like Alexis having this financial power allowed him to speak to you in ways that were humiliating to you or belittling to you.
Yeah, like when we get into arguments, then it's either I'm put down and I just accept it, or you're mad, so now you want to start talking all of this crap about my family. No, it's not cool. It's not okay with me.
Okay. Alexis, can you tolerate going into Kazimar's experience? Try to understand what he's protesting.
I can. I do understand.
Let's spend some time there. What are you hearing Kazimar saying?
I'm hearing that it's hurtful and
The big picture. What's hurtful?
like things that are said when it's at its highest of escalation, you know.
And the kinds of things that are said are...
Like things that like towards his family.
Right, but let's put first of all the idea that there's a financial imbalance. And he's saying that he often has to somehow accommodate, roll over, feel small. Do you want to say more?
My brother inherited that apartment from my mom. That was the apartment that we got into right after the shelter. It just feels like, okay, the last time I was here, the world was over and we rebuilt everything like as a family. And I don't want to go back to our regular home if we're just going back to the same old fighting. And I told him
What
that.
do you want to see change?
I want to see how we talk to one another change. I want to see how he expresses himself change to me.
Why are you saying no?
I just can't. I don't.
You don't what?
I find it to be BS. I'm sorry. Like, I want what he wants too, for myself, not for our relationship.
But why are you saying no when he says what he wants?
Because he doesn't acknowledge himself, his anger.
But it's okay for you to say, I want that too. It doesn't mean you're not going to put requests to Kazimar. What is the issue here?
I apologize. I just feel like
I'm not
the
talking
request
about
is one-sided,
apologies.
you know? No, I
But
was apologizing.
requests should be one-sided. Each side gets to make a request that is not dependent on the other. Kazimar is saying, I want you to talk to me differently. I think these like shifting power dynamics between the two of you are really important and are a sign of change. I think right now it's Kazimar's time to put pressure on you, and I think that's good.
I guess sometimes we come into the room knowing what I'm going to say, and right now I'm not sure. Do you have anything? Because last week I just dived right in.
But I like when you were diving in.
Well, maybe now I'm taking a backseat for a moment.
I don't want you to take a backseat.
Believe me, I'm going to talk. I'm just, okay, just start yapping.
I know that you don't want to address anything, but that doesn't mean that everything's okay.
Of course it's not. I mean, you always say, I don't speak. And that pisses me off, saying I don't talk. I think to myself, like, am I mute? Why does she keep on saying I don't talk? I do talk, especially in recent weeks.
Nobody ever said you were mute.
No, but you still say, you never say anything, never say anything. And certainly in this room, I do speak. And I do believe outside this room, I'm being more vocal as well.
But I want, okay, I guess.
What's your dilemma? Say it out loud.
It's a complacent place that I see him at times get to.
Sometimes I am complacent, so sometimes you do give me a kick, which is needed, but that's not always the case.
I don't think it's a good idea to encourage Allison to give you that kick. I think it burdens her. It perpetuates this dynamic, and you're kind of unconsciously robbing yourself of getting in touch with your own thing.
Okay. Yeah, I know my homework assignment was like not to fill in the blanks. And I've definitely been, conscientious of that. I still do it, of course, but when there are a lot of times like, oh, don't do that.
Meaning if you come here and you sit and you're like, I didn't prepare anything. I don't know what I want to talk about.
Right.
That's a blank.
Yeah, that's true. So is that a positive?
Noticing blanks is excellent. It's a portal to something new rather than automatically filling it with picking a fight or asking someone to do that for you.
I want you to stand by yourself.
But
I do.
But I'm more than capable.
I know you're capable, but I think that that's your...
Allison.
Yeah, sorry.
You start a sentence with, I want you.
Right.
And the other part of your sentence is to stand by yourself. There's a contradictory in the structure of your sentence and what you're trying to say.
Okay.
You're telling him what to do.
And that's why sometimes in our marriage, I have chosen to kind of, be the quiet one, take a step back, because it's like, what's the point? She's telling me anyhow. Why the point in injecting thoughts or ideas?
But it's also true that when you have the time or the space, you call her in.
That's true as well. So I'm to blame as well.
Yeah.
Of course, it's 50-50.
So you're both contributing to the same dynamic.
Is that a learned behavior?
Yeah, I'm sure you each came into this marriage with an inclination to take these positions, but then you found each other and perfected this arrangement, which probably worked for you for a while, but then stopped working. It got too fossilized.
Yeah.
But what are you avoiding? What would be different and less comfortable and new if you didn't habitually engage with each other in that way?
I'm not even sure. I would love to see it again.
For that to happen between the two of you, the two of you need to start imagining it. How else can you connect?
Okay, so we went to a bathhouse.
In Mexico.
Yes, first time as a couple doing this, like knowing what we were about to get into. We were both excited, nervous, but mostly excited. And it was a very positive experience. We had a lot of fun.
And I would not finish.
So, yeah. Okay.
I wanted more.
So we had been there for a little over 3 hours at this point. That's a long time. And for me personally, how much sex can you really have in one night, you know? But we had a moment of check-in, and I was just like, okay, we've been here for 3 hours. We said we were going to dinner. Do you think it's time for us to go home? And he didn't quite say yes and no. He just kind of looked upset. And it put me back in that place of feeling like the adult calling the shots again. By that point, he had shut down. He wasn't even listening. And I'm just like, what the fuck, Kyle? Like, what's going on? Like, I could tell that it was killing the mood of what we had just experienced, which was the euphoria of in this space. Suddenly, that's out the window. And I'm like, really, you're gonna shit on this right now? Like, we're here having a good time. Like, what's your problem? But then he was like, it wasn't enough. I didn't have enough. It wasn't enough. I wanted more. I could keep going. Just when I started having fun, you took this away from me because I haven't been able to have fun until tonight. And I'm like, what the hell have we been doing for the past 3 days? What's going on? And then it took a while, but eventually it came out of him where he starts expressing how the experience of being with our friends and being together in the house, he was missing the deaf component, the exchange of a deaf person's dialogue, the sign language, that all of that was missing. And I'm just like sitting here like, okay, I understand what your feelings are. They're completely valid. But why did it have to take us going to the bathhouse to be completely released to suddenly say that that was my fun? And now you can't take that away from me.
Can I stop you for a second? Because I'm just wondering if something similar is actually happening right now, in the sense that you're talking and expressing what's going on and you're silent.
I'm listening.
Right.
What?
Part of what Mondo is talking about is you holding things in for a long time.
Yes.
Are you doing the same thing now? Are you holding things in rather than speaking?
I was waiting for my turn, and I just wanted to figure out how we could.
Yeah.
You're saying a lot, so.
Yeah.
Right, but waiting for your turn. I'm just wondering if that's part of what we're talking about.
I had a different agenda in my mind.
Oh, did you?
Well, it was toward the end of our vacation. Because you and I had a beautiful conversation about the experience of the bathhouse. We had a beautiful conversation about the recognition of me being selfish, that I had not had fun for so long. And then when we get to the bathhouse, I forgot how much fun I had. Gotta go home to my hearing friends. Fuck no. And I was caught in the moment where it's like Kyle, come back to being an adult, come back to being responsible. Back the fuck up, because I'm having a good time. I'm in Mexico, I don't have to think about work, I don't have to think about your friends, and I don't have to worry about being at the dinner table, not being able to follow what's going on.
Right.
When they tried to engage me, I got disconnected, maybe I misunderstood, got overwhelmed trying to catch up. I give up. I'm just gonna people watch and not talk about anything. Damn, that feels good.
Yeah, you had a lot to say while sitting here quietly.
I was just waiting for the point where it was my turn so I can finally say something about it. Yeah.
So I'm developing a private theory that you're working so hard that you cannot pick up on the cues
Okay.
that Kyle is sending you.
Yes, I can see my personality fit that. That, I can totally see it.
And Kyle, you're like not sending enough cues to Mondo, to your partner,
Yeah.
to say, hey, I'm in distress.
Yes. I have had opportunity to give you a hint or a cue. I'm feeling this way right now, what can I do? Why? What prevented me? And let's go back to the common theme of if I were to say what I need, we'll turn away and walk away.
Right, you said that to me.
It's the same theme. Just like my dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Repeating the pattern.
A little bit.
I'm sorry?
A little bit.